Your character's pretty interesting. Was
She's
it fun to
awesome.
play her?
So much fun. I had a blast. I had a blast because I'd taken 2.5 years off for personal family reasons, and coming back doing Conan was, of all bizarre things, something that caused me to fall in love with filmmaking again. You would not normally put those two things together, but it was just, I mean, seriously, you're in Bulgaria, so and then you're in this Conan world, just total fantasy. And it kind of reminded me what it was all about. I had a blast. And I like playing characters that are written for men, which means they're going to be strong women.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me a little bit about her. What did you do to prepare to get in that mindset?
Well, once I had the prosthetics on, and then it's like really majestic kind of hair and insane outfits, it was not hard to slip into character. You're not going to go be, selling Girl Scout cookies at that point. You're already in for it, but it was really funny. The Bulgarians thought I actually looked like that because I would have, the prosthetic, the forehead to here, 10 head, and then the hair, but then I'd still be wearing, like jeans and a sweatshirt because I hadn't gotten into wardrobe yet, and they were just staring at me like something had gone horribly wrong with this American, but they weren't going to say anything. They would just avoid my eyes, like I was just deformed, and they just didn't want to look. She's awesome. She's basically somebody who uses her claws. It's kind of like a snake, like basically seduces her prey and then snaps. Mm-hmm. So it was quite fun.
Do you tend to be more drawn to like the antagonist roles, the darker, deeper, more gritty? No?
No, I just like strong.
Strong.
Don't care what form. Strong.
Nice. How long did the big crazy...
6 hours.
Oh my God.
I would go in at 2 in the morning, and it was one of the hardest makeups the guy had ever done, and it's actually a lot easier to put things on people, like horns and, facial things, than it is to do something incredibly smooth that has to look like it's perfectly part of someone's skin. That was, very difficult, and 2 people at once. So a lot of times when you are doing prosthetics like Cat in the Hat or like that kind of, Jim Carrey stuff, you can lay back and go to sleep. There is no sleep. This is sitting perfectly still, not moving, not my forte. And then, about an hour of removal, so by the time everyone else would roll in ready to work, I was like already there for 6 hours. But
long day.
Well, there's no way they could have finished this movie if I didn't let them waive my turnaround union rules. I lie. Do I? Every day I was like, yeah, fine. I'm in Bulgaria. What am I going to do? I might as well work. But there's no way with the amount of hours I was working that they could have finished it. But it's totally worth it. It looks great.
It does look great. Just a couple of images I've seen. Really interesting.
Yeah, she's totally badass.
So how's it working with the cast and Jason? Full
Love
deal?
me some Jason.
Right?
Love me some Jason Momoa. And, people are like, what's he like? I mean, he's maybe the sweetest barbarian you'll ever meet. But truly, I don't know how he did it. He was doing this intensely physical role, long hours, and then would go out carousing, not with women, but like drinking and like hard living, like at night, and then roll back in at like 6 in the morning. And there's just no way I could have ever done that. No,
true barbarian.
If the guy could have had a goblet of blood, it would suit him, And you're like, well, why do they cast, mostly an unknown? And like, tell me where in Hollywood you're going to find an actor 6'5", let alone 6 foot. Good luck with that, like somebody who's already well known. It's not really going to happen. And I think he looks so much like the Robert E. Howard renderings, like what true Conan's supposed to look like. I mean, to me, it's like he just comes to life from some Frank Frazetta painting. I loved him.
Yeah, he did a great job, it looks like. Are you a fan of comics?
I like some. I like the books more than like the serialized, like monthly things. But I did a show called Charmed, and it's funny because, I've been done with that for like 3 years now. And someone brought me some of the comics today at Comic-Con to sign. And I was like, so weird doing something where the character lives on in comic books. She's having her own strange adventures.
Do you like TV versus film?
I like both. I like floating back and forth. I mean, you really understand the power and the reach that television has. It's, so I'm doing this television movie right now, but because the role is so intense, that's what drew me to it. Not that it was TV or film. It's an amazing part. But it's also a great counterbalance to Conan the Barbarian because it's just wildly different. But as many people see that as see Conan just because of television. I mean, I met somebody at this gay drag club who had a really thick accent. I couldn't really understand him. He's like, I over from Baghdad for a year. You're a superstar in Iraq. I was like, what? And Saddam approved 2 shows to play there, and I don't know what the other one was, but Charmed was one of them. I was like, Literally, my first thoughts were, Uday and Kuze know who I am. Like, what? It's the reach is pretty
phenomenal.
pretty intense.
Yeah. So you think Conan kind of reinvigorated your love for film again?
It did. I had a blast. I love Marcus Nispel is just kind of like a kid in a candy store, and it was a huge set. It was a huge production. I mean, the horses each had 4 dressers for each horse.
Wow.
Because the horses had armor, and each horse had like things around their eyes and all this amazing, leather armor that would go on each horse. So it was like a huge, huge undertaking. And I was pretty much left to do whatever I wanted, so I'm always happy when I can do that. It's a really kick-ass movie.
Yeah.
For what it is, for the genre that it is, it's
Pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
So Italian is your first language. Have you done any films or anything in full Italian?
I wish. No, they won't let me have EU citizenship. They won't let me have dual citizenship.
Really?
Even though I was born there and lived there till I was like 9 and a half. My brothers can, because they're boys. And they can serve in the Italian army. Should Italy ever have to go to war and they have to have a draft, they do not put women in their army. Seriously, but I would be a much better warrior than my brothers would ever be. You really should consider letting me in your army, because I would kick some ass.
Do you ever go back?
I go back 2 or 3 times a year.
Oh, great.
It's my favorite place. Ultimately, I'm going to move there. I know I'll end up there.
I lived there
I
for
want
a
a
while.
farmhouse in Tuscany.
I love it.
Yeah, I grew up in Tuscany and Umbria and Rome.
So I loved you in Grindhouse.
Thank
How
you.
much fun was that?
It was a horrible, tough shoot, but the movie's fucking kick-ass.
How was it to have a gun on your leg?
God, I could do with a gun on my leg just about every day of my life, I'll tell you what. And I think many people could do with a gun on their leg. It'd be fun. You could just do so much. But, I saved the world. People should be grateful.
Damn straight.
She was badass. She was the character closest to me, because it was written for me, and it had so much of me in it, so much of what I say. I'm always like, oh, useless talent number 39. Because I'm really good at things that make me no money. So my talents don't make, I'm like, oh, I'm really, really good at this. Too bad I could never apply it to a job where I could make money with it. So there's so much of me in it. It's, and I always said if I had a daughter, I'd want to name her Cherry Darling. So it came from that.
That's great. Great. Well, thank you so much for your time.
You're
We're
welcome.
really excited for Conan.
Good, you should go see it. It's a hard R. It's very exciting.
A hard R.
It's a hard R.
Now, you don't have any nudity in it. You have 2 crazy costumes,
I wouldn't be
right?
able to get out of my costume fast enough. There wouldn't be enough time in a film for me to unhook myself from everything. I'd be like, hold on a minute. I'll be here a while.
Stay turned on.
It took 2
Hold
people
on.
to take me out of my costume.
Oh my
in
God.
my costumes to help me walk upstairs. Like they were kind of feats of engineering.
Well, I can't wait to see it. Thanks for your time.